Vaping with the Ohmies. 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 Welcome everybody, welcome to the show. Let me introduce you to some dudes in case you don't know. First we got Aziz all the way from Kuwait. Always got a point when it's time for debate. Oh my Lanta, some call him Dan. Got the dad jokes in the palm of his hand. Boom Sauce McNasty got his eyes on the news. Got his ear to the streets and he's down for the crew. Next up is Clown, the DIY king. Got a juice line and some coils that sing. Then there's a bear who's smarter than average. Quick with a wit, his name Vapor Swaggins. Then there's the homie, we know him as Frames. And too many guests to remember the names. Together they make up this killer vape panel. So hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Vaping with the Ohmies. 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 Vaping with the Ohmies.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Vaping with the Ohmies. What's in the news, Poon Sauce? Alright guys, it's that time for Dan's Dad Joke of the Week.
What is going on, Ohmies? Welcome back for episode 41, the Mega Ultra what was it? Mega Ultra Amigos Extravaganza. I think that's what the title was that Adam came up with that I had to run with just because it was so good. So, of course, as you can see, we got a full house tonight, guys. Not only do you get the whole Ohmies panel, but we've got the whole Amigos panel here as well. If you guys do not know who they are, you guys can go check them out over on the Amigos & Co. channel. Of course, you guys definitely stay tuned because after this show, we're going right over there to the Amigos channel to continue on with the fun. So, of course, make sure you guys make your way over there. We'll make sure to drop a link for you guys so you guys can make sure you make your way over there. Subscribe, hit that notification bell. That way you guys get notified. And, of course, you guys can check out any of the further upcoming Amigos shows that happen every Monday right after the Ohmies. But with all that being said, guys, we're just going to get into it. We're going to talk about some buffets, talk about what we're vaping on tonight. We got quite a few people here, so we're going to try to maybe run through them a little bit faster than normal, maybe not. We'll see how things go. And with that, I'm going to pass it off to the man down at the very bottom today, my Lanta in the house. What's up, bro? What are you vaping on, bro?
I'm here doing things. Thanks for having me again. Vert. RDA for vaping. You guys already know. I've got like nothing new, so it's always going to be the same stuff. I'm Duo. Raspberry Peach? Yeah, Raspberry Peach.
Yeah, sure, that sounds right.
That's delicious shit right there. I got the Yearn.
Oh, yeah.
Vaping Canadian. I tried it when he was in town, and this thing is awesome. If you guys didn't know, I started a new job. Don't really get to go blow clouds at my new job, so got to have the stealthy setups. And then I have Iota. It's peach mango ice, and it's very, very good. And then I got that other dot mod AIO SE with Iota in that as well. So that's what I got. I'll pass it off to OG version Swaggins.
Oh, OG version Swaggins.
So
now
close.
I'm confused.
You're the OG.
Yeah, let's just talk about let's talk about the elephant in the room. Poon Sauce, where's your hat?
Yes.
The only one.
We get it. Chris Vandal and Vapor Swaggins are the same person, except we're not. We're separate people, and we look exactly the same. And
It's
it's weirding
Vapeception.
me out. is wigging me out. So I'm just going to
her dad stayed with him. That's why he looks like that.
I want to talk to you more about, our family and why they left me on the other coast. Why am I here? There's winter, there's seasons. I like them, but like there's winter, there's seasons.
They got inspired by that scene in Joe Dirt at the Grand Canyon, and they were like,
they left me, man. Chris, they left me. Why'd they name me Vapor? Why is my first name Vapor? Anyways, thanks. Speaking of Vapor, I've got the Stank on top of the Stratum V4 Submariner in Black Delrin. Inside of there, I have Pango by Transistor, which is my second favorite juice of all time now. It's a Pango. Look it up. It's in the dictionary. I was gonna just show my juice next. Yeah, this is Tango Melon. And Tango Melon is inside of the Barrage, which is on top of my Rogue Wisdom.
Very nice.
Picked this up at NVE last year, and I love it. And yeah, I already told you what was inside of there. And then I've got this guy right here, my Twisted Mezzes edition, Novo 2, custom, 1 of 1, just the way I like to do it. And inside of there, I have Nick Salts, and I'm done with them now. Bottle's gone. And so now I can move on to the custard that I'm going to be putting into everything.
Yeah,
Look
dude.
at this super steeped over drip vanilla custard. And with that, I'm going to pass it off to my doppelganger, Chris Vandal.
Okay, guys.
This will take a while. All right, so today, guys, I got this one right here. I'm Vapor Swaggin. I got a stab wood, carrot, the dag on the top. Got some breeze toads in it, whatever. Anarchist Peak. Yeah, that one's real cool. And then I got the top side with a goat. And then that's something like Rocket Blast. Guys, like real chill, guys, like real chill. Anyways, what you got, Poo Toss?
Rocket Blast is sweet, bro.
Okay.
Sweet.
I got
some
the
sweet
Vert,
juices.
Odium, of course, that Janklin Green. Go make it all go along. Inside of there, I got some just Lemon Blast. And then I got my Cycloid with the Jenna. Finally got the black cap for it. Thank you, Mr. Swaggins. And inside of there, Banana Land, Willy Bolu. And then my new addition, again, thank you, Swaggins. I got with the Haku Riviera. And inside of there, I got some Velez.
Ooh.
Town Hero. And it's fucking amazing.
Say Hometown Hero.
No, I said freaking Rescue.
No, you said outside here, but it's cool, dude.
I heard Hometown Hero. That's cool, though.
He got the juices mixed
That's
up.
a throwback.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. Okay. I'll pass it on to Legion. What are you vaping on, man?
Oh, man, all high-end shit today. It's all high-end shit. Got the Vinci Air. Definitely high-end. Actually, it's not a bad little pod system. I like these little systems that are coming out that are a bit more cloudy. Suits me a bit better. And I got some Nick Salt in that, which is doing my chest in. Keep forgetting that my body does not like Nick Salt. It works well. It tastes great, but I take like 3 or 4 puffs and I'm like,
yep. I get the same way.
Yeah. I've stopped buying it. I'm just kind of using up what I've got. But I got some raspberry cream Danish from Barista Brew in there. Not a bad flavor. Not bad at all. But yeah, just too much chest contractions killing me. As well, slightly more high-end, actually, the Lost Vape Q Ultra, which is the latest in this thing, which looks exactly like the previous in this thing, which looks like the first version of this thing. They're all
that's similar to like this thing.
Yeah, they're all kind of this thing.
Yeah, the original this thing.
Yeah,
everything looks like this thing.
They're all the same. They're a box. I actually have a review coming at the end of the week for this, and it's a good device. I like the device. I like the vape. But the main thing I said is it looks like this thing, and geez, couldn't they just have rounded it off just a little bit?
Did something a little different.
Moved on in the aesthetics.
Yeah.
Good device though. And the only other 2 things, these have become my ride or die setups. I just will not get rid of them. Vandal and Adam will know exactly what they are. It's my topside dual and the axial running Breeze Tones coils because that is a fucking killer setup. Scared the shit out of me yesterday. I hadn't used it for that day or so. Picked it up and it was like atomizer. Oh fuck! Is it dead? Is it dead? And it took 20 minutes to troubleshoot, and I don't know what it was. Just needed a re-wicking. I've never had that before, where like it wouldn't read the atomizer until I re-wicked it.
You had no cotton in it.
Yeah, it just wouldn't work. And then I re-wicked it, threw it back on. It was fine. I don't know. Anyway, that's got Vandal's favorite, Anarchist Pink, because pink lemonade is life. And my other setup, the Odin with the glass version 2 on top, because that I think that's just gorgeous.
Nice.
I love the look of it. I love the feel of it. And the color, the gunmetal to gunmetal, looks really, really nice. Vape skiller. I love the slightly restricted feel from this tank. And I'm running lemon cheese bar from Goodies in there.
Ooh.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2. There we go. I hate it when it does that. I want to get one of the new ones that doesn't do that.
Regulated.
DNAs are great chips, but they're just fucking pain in the ass.
Plug it in. Change it to like no. It doesn't turn the lock screen on.
Let's see. That would be thinking. I don't think much.
Just walk over to Adam's house. He'll make you some coils.
Do you know how long it would take me to walk to his house?
But you got docks,
3.5 minutes.
Docks are the perfect.
I got docks, but I got no socks, so I'll be pretty sweaty by the time I'm there.
Yeah, that explains it.
That's what good macaroni sounds like.
Anyway, that's me for the day. So let's toss it over to we only got one left. Frames. What are you vaping on?
Actually, we got a Breeze Tones. What do you, I want to hear what Breeze Tones is vaping on real quick, just so we don't leave them out.
Well, I kind of there's a few doppelgangers going on. There's Vandal and Swaggins, and
There's so many people, bro. I almost lost count too.
So
and
I'm
I looked around.
I've picked my brother. It's going to be Dan because I'm also rocking the Yearn. I've got a little secret in there. A little you can just have a look at that, and that's all I'm going to say about that one. I've also got a UL Crown with with Mr. Eric. Mr. Eric, the gorgeous bearded man there. A little deep cut section. That's the PB Party. I also have another MTL. That's the Oceanus with the Glaz Mini Pure RTA V.15 LE Pro Spec Comp Edition. That one has... Nice. That also has a little deep cuts in it. That one's got the Psycho Cruller. Qu'est-ce que c'est? What else have I got? I've got the Slatty Verdi Dangercorn from Palmer's Powders with the special edition Slate Grey. Little platinum balls, DHD nub tip on that one. And that in there is an Australian juice, little kiwi strawberry from Labworks.
Shout out to Labworks.
Yeah, Paul the Pirate. I hope he's doing well. And then my last one is the RDA for vaping with the limited edition Navy Nephelin drip tip, which I can't pronounce the name. Yeah. Topside dual. That one has in there a little vapor treat, some malicious deliciousness is the cookies and custard. I've smashed this bottle. I bought this in Seattle. When did I get it, Chris? Like 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago, yeah. 2 weeks ago.
Smashed it. So
nice.
I had all the vapes today, Mr. Frames.
Well, I'm actually keeping it short and simple tonight. I got two setups. Changed it up a little bit from this morning. I got the Ohmies Edition Palmas Powders Custom Coated Ruby 21 with a red rum chop top. That's a color changing, changes from black to red. So, of course, had to throw it on top of this setup here.
Oh, yeah.
I think this actually has a set of Breeze Tones coils in it as well. Shout outs to Breeze Tones. And shout outs to my man Ashton Palmer Powders once again. Got some of that Nick drips in finally, some of that bloodbath. But this right here is the Palmer's Powders Special Reserve, the one that he mixes up himself, his special way. So really liking this. It's a strawberry red vines, and it tastes exactly like strawberry red vines. Like I was pleasantly surprised. And the next setup, I don't know if you guys seen Instagram lately, but boom, I've got it back in my hands. My new custom coated by Palmer's Powders Defiant Designs DS with a matching coil turd RDA on top of that with a purple heart chop top from DHD. And I've got some Pango from Transistor inside of that. And I think this has got some band build aliens in it. So shout outs to Macy out there. And that's it. That's all I got tonight, guys. This is what I'm going to be vaping on. These are like the two setups that I'm going to be, mainly this. This is pretty much all I'm going to be vaping on just because I just want to look at it. You know what I mean? Not so much vape. I just want to hold it and just look at it. Because damn, this thing's sexy. But anyways.
Just look at it, bro.
Yeah, would you just look at that? Would you just look at it?
Looks comfy.
Yeah. It just fits so nicely in the hand. It, you got that detonator switch on there. The squonk bottle fits right there where your ring finger is. It's just, I love it. One of my all-time favorites right there. And now it's like even better than before. But with all that being said, guys, after the buffets, you know what we do after that, right? We've got that segment that we do every show. It's the way we started off. You guys can get an entire hour's worth, sometimes even more on Wednesday over on the Poon Sauce McNasty channel. It is time for a little bit of What's in the News, Poon Sauce.
Okay, well, this just came across I think I saw this on Twitter earlier today, and I had something completely different planned for what we were going to talk about, but when I saw this, I'm like, I think this needs to be talked about first because pretty insane that I didn't think this would come to tuition a little bit. Like, I didn't even think it would be out there. But what is happening is Trump is calling for the end of the FDA regulating tobacco products. And I guess during his budget request today, he put that in there to where he wants the Department of Health and Human Services to start regulating tobacco products, which would pretty much take the FDA completely out of it. I guess he wants them to focus on more of like ensuring the safety of the nation's, like their food and their medicine and their drug supply, I guess. So I would have never thought to see this. I want to know, I know I shared this with you guys earlier. I want to know your guys' thoughts on this, because if something had like this actually happened, I don't know if things would change for the better or for the worst. I don't know. I'm curious to your guys' thoughts.
It is definitely interesting, to say the least. I'm not necessarily sure how I feel about the whole situation. Like, I literally just heard about it today, like you did, Corey, and I was reading through it earlier. Some of the things that they were saying were kind of weird. Like, they're saying that they don't think that the Food and Drug Administration should be in control of tobacco regulations because, and with it being the Food and Drug Administration, their main focus should be, drugs and that research and food, and they should be focusing on things that are ultimately helping people. This is pretty much just like a paraphrase of what they're saying, and tobacco is not something that falls in those lines, so they don't feel like they should have the jurisdiction to oversee that, because it's not going along with what their majority role is with
Can I quote it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so just to sum it up, I think this does a pretty good job. It's a pretty short article anyways, but it says basically, to stem off of what James was saying, quote, any agency tasked with overseeing tobacco products would look at rules relating to reducing nicotine in cigarettes, regulating flavors, and putting warning labels on packets, among other ways to reduce smoking, end quote. So basically moving that arm over to some separate regulatory process that's more directly and adequately and appropriately educated and resourced to focus on tobacco related shit, basically.
Are they talking about like adding a new division, like another branch of the government?
It would be a new agency underneath the health department and human
Health and Human Services.
Health and Human Services. It would be like a new agency under them that would be mainly focusing on tobacco regulations instead of
more government, guys.
Here's the deal, though. We're going to be paying taxes towards that, and honestly, let's just like, to play devil's advocate or just to play unbiased by the system, is like, you're looking at it like this. People are crying out that this is a thing that needs to be regulated by government, etc. And we're paying money to an organization, the FDA. We're paying taxes for this FDA branch to work, and they're not doing a good job. So they're going to move it out and focus resources to something that we'll pay taxes into that are specifically for the thing that everybody's crying out epidemic about. So you want your fucking cake and you want to eat it too. Well, there you have it. That's what happens when you cry wolf.
Well, I got a question. Don't we already have someone that isn't ATF, alcohol, tobacco, and firearms? Shouldn't they have some kind of say within the tobacco stuff, the e-cigarette stuff, like any of that? Does that make any kind of sense?
ATF is only a law enforcement group to ensure that people that are breaking the law or evading taxes in a high amount of like $1 million and plus, that they go in as a task force to ensure that basically the SWAT of the industry, but they don't come in shop to shop. They're more of a problem solver than a problem finder.
Okay. See, that's what I needed answered. Thank you, Swaggins version 2.
Welcome.
Sure. That was amazing.
So can I ask, because I'm the dumb person here, the HHS, what is that and what does it do, and why would they be the group that effectively the FDA may shift the situation to?
With the sorry, go ahead.
Well, the Department of Health and Human Services, I guess it's pretty much their role as a company / business to regulate. I would say, yeah, that's a good question, actually.
Is that what people are talking about in the chat, the HHS, and then also / how that would affect the PMTAs, or
Well, see, like I'm not sure how it would affect the PMTAs per se.
Because the PMTAs is the FDA thing.
Yeah.
It would stick with the same government agency. It wouldn't transfer over.
Yeah.
Theoretically, if the FDA lose the mandates to take over or look after tobacco and vaping, then all their rules, everything that they've put in, that just goes by the wayside. New department, new rules, new infrastructure, and we have to start right from the beginning again. It's definite positive potential.
Yeah.
I just worry what's happening behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Who's pulling the strings and what the end goal is.
Because is this sorry, Steve, is this a situation of, okay, they take that responsibility off the FDA because that's an absolute shit show, so then they give it to a smaller body to go, right, let's do what we originally planned to do, and then they've got a centralized situation where they can enact all of the stuff they were going to say. Is that a situation of how it could be construed?
So this will be like my 2 cents on it, and I had to get it for this because I always put it on. So with my perception of this, what they're going to do when they transfer us over to the HHS is they're going to create a whole new agency within it, which means that they're going to create a bunch of new jobs, which looks real good. But also on top of that, they're going to create a pinpoint focus on vaping, because basically because of all the vape epidemic bullshit that's going around right now, they're creating a whole new department for cessation of the people outcry saying, oh yeah, the government's in charge of it. And then now that organization is going to find a way to exploit the industry on either whether it's taxes, regulation on how much you can put into it, how much you can't. And with it being governed by a team inside the HHS, it can actually focus on getting stuff done instead of being spread thin like the FDA, because it covers massive amount of things, and that will cover one thing, which means they're actually going to bring a huge focus to us, good or bad, it's to be seen.
Yeah. Sounds very
And
very
I'm trying
sneaky.
to look at the positive outlook of it too. Like, think if it could be, maybe if we get the right people involved in there, they could do a focus on, and maybe they can see the benefits of it, and it could be a thing about tobacco harm reduction and go along on that kind of route to where it would kind of coexist to what something we preach and we fight for every single day of our lives.
If we could get people in there that's their main focus is the harm reduction side of it, and not
That'd be
necessarily
fantastic.
like the crazy like this is the whole thing with it being like up to the government, and it being an agency that's going to ultimately be put together by the government. And just like I don't know, I'm kind of like with Vandal on this. It's kind of like it sounds good like on paper, but like as things go into action is just kind of how we're gonna have to kind of wait and see is if this is something that ever does come to fruition. I feel like it's just, I don't know, there's a lot of things that could happen that could benefit us, but there's also ways that it could be construed against us as well. So it's,
look at when Trump made his tweet back, what was it, September 11th, about like we need to do something about vaping. It took them all like 4 months for them to come up. You know what? Closed pod systems, no more. So how long is this shit going to take? And who are they going to put into those seats of power to fucking look over that? Is it going to be someone on our side that favors us? Probably not.
Look, also, hypothetically speaking, what are we now? We're February, right? So May is PMTA delivery time, right?
Yeah.
So what's that? So February, March, April, May. That's not even 3 months. less than 3 months. So
Day.
exactly. So they've got PMTA process happening right now, or until deadline. They bring this in and then decide,
Yeah, what's the FDA going to do? Just here you go. Here, take all this off our plate, which we weren't really doing anything with, and have fun with that. And we wash our hands of it.
How much a company's spending, on the hope that they will be able to get an application in already,
Actually, now that you say something, what's crossing my mind about this? Like, say a company filed for their PMTAs and they already gave their money to the FDA for it, and then suddenly it goes to this government agency. Are they going to get their money back if the PMTAs are a thing anymore, or they're just going to be like, yeah, thanks for your money, see ya?
Well, a lot of things like that, they'll probably be grandfathered in, you assume, but that's the best. That's hoping for the best.
Yeah.
How pissed off would you be, though, to spend millions getting this all together, and then all of a sudden the government says, yeah, we don't need that anymore. Yeah, we're going some other way. You got to go back to the beginning.
What if they took all that money to create this new division?
Governments don't do that. Come on, man. Governments don't do that.
You can't pay the government to create a new division. I mean,
and this is going to be the last point I want to make on this subject, because I don't want to talk forever, because I drone on when I hit shed time. But it would be pretty awesome, and I know it's a little far-fetched, but this administration is kind of Hollywood, right? So we need to keep tweeting at Greg Conley, like, dude, apply, and then get his ass in there, and then have him take over.
Right.
That would be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool. But with all that, guys, thank you, Corey, for bringing that up. Of course, we'll have that link drop down there in the chat for you guys if you guys want to go check it out and give it more of a read through and look a little bit more into it if you want. But with us having this extravaganza that we've got going on today, we do have the Amigos here. So we do want to take a little bit of time just to sit here and talk to these three fellas here. If you guys do not know who they are, like I said, they have a show that they do every week on Mondays right after us on their channel. It's at 6:30 Pacific Standard Time. So that's 8:30 Eastern, or no, 8:30 Central, 9:30 Pacific for all you guys out there over there on their channel. If you guys have not made your way over there yet, definitely make your way over there after this and go subscribe, hit that notification bell, because like I said at the beginning, we are going to be making our way over there after this to go hang out with them and do another little show over there with those guys. So what I want to do is just kind of get to know these guys a little bit for some of the people out there in chat that may not know who these guys are. So I'm just going to kind of go down the line here. I'm actually going to start off with you, Legion. Tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do. Of course, I know a little bit about you, but for some of the people out there that may not know.
Oh my God! You want my life story?
No.
Let's start right at the beginning, shall we?
Let's go back to birth.
I had these two scrolls, and I was on the mountain.
First of all, let's get rid of this because I'm fucking hot. Oh, okay, it's hot here. I'm a multinational kind of person. Half Canadian, half Scottish, half Austrian, and I live in Australia, just to confuse the fuck out of everyone.
150%?
Yes, I'm 150%. I'm a big personality with a big gut to show. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. What was the question again? More honestly, I'm just an old punk rocker who's trying to figure his way through his 50s now because I'm fucking old, and I smoked for almost 3.5 decades, and I don't know if everyone's story is the same, but smoking was that thing that was always there for me. Like when I was down, when my first marriage broke up, when my kids were born, smoking was just that thing that I always went to, I always reached for, and to the point where I'd done stupid things to get my hands on smoke. I've bought smokes and not eaten. I've bought smokes and not been able to pay the rent, just because it's your best friend, it's your buddy, it's your addiction, it's always there. I never ever thought. I mean, I was sitting there hacking away, literally dying, and I never thought that I would ever be able to quit. I tried everything, and nothing worked. I just got irritated and angry, and I would get smoked somehow. But I just randomly saw an article about vaping. It was in the news, so just scrolling through. I thought, okay, that's not going to work. Let's give it a try. Another half-hearted attempt. And it came in, and I was kind of excited because I like gadgets and gear. And within literally the first 2 minutes, Took a while to charge up the batteries and get it going. But within the first 2 minutes of the first puff, it's like, this is going to fucking work. This is really going to work. And I went around my house. I picked up every ashtray, threw them in a bag. I got all my tobacco, everything, and I put it in the boot of the car. I was like, I'll give that to someone. And I have not smoked since. And that was just mind-blowing. Like, to explain how bad it was, I was whistling and weaseling, like lying in bed. Every night. I would wake up in the morning and I would go for my first smoke and I would feel kind of clear, but I knew what would happen. 2 puffs and I would be hacking. I was breaking ribs. I was like right on the edge of bad shit. And that just went away. 2-3 months, it just went away.
Yeah.
I'm fucking amazed, right? And so I'm learning more about this stuff. I'm going through Reddit and I'm seeing all the drama. And I'm going through Facebook, and of course you hit YouTube, and I see these people yapping away about new devices. So I've got to learn stuff, learn what's going on. And I start watching, and of course, Grim Green, big ups to Grim Green, Dean the vaping biker, the two of them, because they are different people. And Dean led me to Todd. So the three of those, I went, they're 3 completely different people, and I like them all. And I saw everyone else out there, and I went, you know what's really important here is advocating not just on the political side, but just on the experiential, like people's lives. And different personalities work for different people. And someone may be ultra straight laced, and Grim Green just doesn't work for them. They might be scared of bikers, and Dean doesn't work for them, but they might be a bit more calm and laid back with a quirky sense of humor. Todd might really be the guy who gets them. So I thought, I could do this. I don't even have to worry about what my personality is. I could do this. I could help people. And that was all I wanted to do, is I wanted to help other people know that, holy fuck, this shit will work if you give it a chance.
Yeah.
So I just started learning more and more. Luckily, I was already working as a photographer, which I literally quit. I literally just quit that job because I wasn't making any money anyway, honestly. And I set this up, which used to be on that side of the room, and just started doing videos and just buying shit and reviewing shit and going, well, I don't really want that pod device, but yeah, I'll buy it. And I just kind of went through a lot of stuff till eventually companies took notice of me and started sending me stuff, which, yay, thank you. That saved me a lot of money. And just that's what I do. And I keep doing it partially because I enjoy the filmmaking side, but mostly because I get so much good feedback from people. And just knowing that, like, if there's 1, maybe 2 people out there who've managed to make that switch and stick with it, if I've been able to help them. And I always tell people when they do it, it's like, I didn't do the hard work. You did the hard work. I was just here to help guide you along. But that's why I do this every time. It's like why I stick. I don't really do the high-end stuff. I joked about it with the beginning, but I'd love to play with high-end stuff, but it's not about that. It's about what the average smoker can get their hands on and what will actually work for them on a day-to-day, ongoing basis. I always keep that in mind. There are people out there that I admire greatly, DJ LSB Vapes and Phil Basardo, who are incredibly technical. And I really appreciate the work and the effort they put into, but my reviews aren't about that. They're about, how's it feel in my hand? Do I like it? Does it feel good when I use it? Will I be able to continue using this, like I said, on a day-to-day basis? It's all about the experiential use. So,
Very
that's
nice,
it. That's
man.
the story.
Oh, dude.
I think he's forgotten the fact he's got 30,000 YouTube people who are, supporting Mr. Legion. That's something that people don't talk about.
That's awesome, man. Like I found out about you, through the Amigos. I never really, heard about who you were, or seen any of your stuff until you guys started doing, your guys' thing over there on the channel, and went through, and I've seen some of your guys' some of your videos, and then just how you guys interact with each other on the show, and just the knowledge that is shared. It's really cool, to see, people from all over, and like you said, you're, a dude out in Australia, just doing his thing and doing it for not necessarily the same reasons as everybody else. You know what I mean? You're just doing it to help anybody and everybody that you can, you know what I mean? And it's like just about the aspect of, you know, does it work? Does it fit in my hand? You know, like everybody takes their own spin to like how they come to creating content. And it's just really cool to kind of hear your story and how you got into it and how that's kind of steered you down the path that you've chosen with your content.
Well, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. So with that, we're going to throw it over to Swaggin's doppelganger, a.k.a. Mr. Chris Vandal here, and hear a little bit about your story, man, and like what you do.
All right. I'll keep it quick because I'm boring. I had a family that smoked a lot, and I always told myself I'd never smoke. One Thanksgiving, I broke up with a girl at her parents' house at dinner, and I went and bought a pack of cigarettes, smoked for like 8 years. Anyways, I was in the Army for a little bit, went overseas, came back home, and I didn't know what I was going to do. So I bought a camera just for shits and giggles because I got my GI Bill, and I had the tuition money for free, so I went and bought a camera. Anyways, started taking pictures for fun, and then picked up to where people wanted to pay me, and then eventually I got reached out from a friend of a friend, like, hey, there's this company in town called Local Vape. I'm like, oh, okay. I was like, they need someone to do their social media. And I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, cool. So I go and do an interview, and I walk in, and everything smells like fucking cupcakes and fruity pebbles, all this stuff, you know? I'm like, all right, cool. So I started working there, and I was smoking at the time. And I was like, well, I really want you to know these products I'm going to be talking about and shit like that. So I started vaping. And then eventually Anarchist Beat came out. I stopped smoking. And then I've been vaping ever since. So it's been about, 3-4 years now? And then, yeah, and that's it. I'm really not that interesting. I just like to talk shit to people, and Swaggin's got the good genes. So there you go.
Swaggin's got the good genes.
I'll mail them to you in a couple of years. I just need to sort some shit out, all right?
So that's pretty cool to kind of, hear from you, Vandal, because you're on the opposite end of the camera when it comes to, the scene or creating content, because you're more of taking the pictures compared to, being in front of the camera, shooting a video or something like that. If you guys haven't followed Vandal on Instagram, you guys definitely should go check him out, because some of the shots that he takes are epic. Some of the edits that you do, dude, are just like some of the sickest stuff that I've seen. So definitely go check him out, guys, because he does some super rad stuff for sure. And then, of course, we got Mr. Breeze Tones here. We have had you on the show once or twice before, but of course, we'd love to hear your story one more time. And things have quite changed a little bit for you since I think the last time we've had you on.
Yeah. Yes, life has taken a big turn for me, but I just want to go back to Vandal.
Yeah.
Vandal does on the daily, he's shooting products left, right, and center. So Chris always says to me, I'm 3 months ahead of my, my photographs and all that sort of thing. I want to shout out Chris because he takes photos all the time. They're always amazing. People do these vape photos and they spend their time, and, I'm not going to name names. It doesn't matter. But Vandal does this all day long, every day. So it's pretty incredible, that talent, and he's not going to say that for himself. So I got you, Vandal.
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah, welcome. Short story, I'm 2 years and a bit into vaping. I found it through YouTube, and social media, which has been such a big problem for everyone in the vaping scene. But I actually think it's a good thing, because that's how I found it. Very quickly progressed, obviously, into building some coils for myself. But been very lucky to get my coils in the people in the vaping industry that I admire. So that's been a massive personal win for me. Very, very honored and stoked. But yeah, starting a little coil business and being very lucky to get them into the US and here in Australia, it's a bit of a different situation. Even last night I got an inquiry about someone who wanted to buy coils in Australia, and the reality is that I actually don't have a stockist in Australia because of the fact of my government and how hard it is, which is pretty ridiculous. I can't even make coils for my own country people. So that's a weird thing, and saying it out loud sounds even more ridiculous, but I want to bring that to the forefront, of how our government is treating vaping industry here in Australia, I guess, but advocacy is one of those huge things that I guess when you fall into vaping, you fall into that very, very quickly, as opposed to all the pretty shinies that come out. And the hobby scene is beautiful. Don't get me wrong. I love technology and, going from computers to phones to then discovering, things that have freaking, fingerprint recognition and all that sort of situation, like the vaping tech side of things is really cool, but there are, simple things, and this is purely subjective, that simple coils and simple wire, with all this stuff coming out, still vape just as good as the latest and greatest, so whether it be your 80-year-old grandmother who's got, one of these and this is the thing that keeps her off the stinkies, or you've got the, the freaking slated verticorn, with the latest dang and all that sort of business, it doesn't matter, it's getting the word out with vaping. So I feel honored every day that I'm able to hang out with people like yourselves, or talk to people, online about vaping, because of the fact that it's the most non-discriminatory, situation that I've found in my life. I think music is always a different thing. Language is a different thing. People work in different industries, but vaping, I've been able to engage with people, a far broader spectrum of, people that I would have never have engaged with before. So I feel very honored to even, be involved in any of this.
Reefstone's going to make a motherfucker cry in this bitch. You better stop, man.
It's the truth, though, right?
No, but he's right, man. He's right, dude, because I feel what he says like 110%. That's how I feel about this community, and that's why I do what I do. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just to give back to this community that has welcomed me with such open arms and made me feel like I belong. You know what I mean? I've never been a part of a community where I've actually felt like I was fit in or like I had a spot. You know what I mean? Like I always felt like I was fighting to make my way in somewhere, or I had to, go above and beyond to, to fit in. Where with here, all I have to do is just be me. You know what I mean? And like that in itself is just so rewarding because, I don't have to, like fake it till you make it type deal. You know what I mean? I just be me, have legitimate conversations with real people. And, it just that in itself is what makes me love this community. And then, of course, all the cool, devices and stuff that we get to, mess around with and, ultimately keeps us off of, cigarettes, which has brought us all together to begin with. Which kind of leads me into my next question is like, what made you guys end up starting the Amigos & Co. channel and doing your guys' streams? Because I know you guys do the one on Monday with, the panel that we have here. And then I know, Chris, that you also do the Friday Fallout, after the Vape Stews on Friday, which is a really, really funny ass show. If you guys have not checked it out, really entertaining. But what kind of like made you guys want to branch out and start doing like your guys' shows like on the Amigos channel?
Who's going to take that?
Adam, you're the OG.
Adam, you were there right at the start, so
you're the
very quickly, obviously, over time, it's at, and I was thinking about that. I went back through my phone, like the 40,000 photos that everyone has in their iPhone. Yeah. I went back to see some of the original, it was actually Eric Vinyl and Vapor's post. When was that? Last week, about the first Instagram post. Made me think about that, and I went back to go and have a look at, some of the original situations, obviously with Chuck and Vape Malone back in the day. It was originally, Chuck and Malone who were doing a show, and I kind of pushed my way into getting on their live streams. I guess that's the real situation. I wanted to be involved, and it really turned into a social / we had some guests on, people that was originally the plan, was have a bit of fun and have some serious shows at the same time. I guess over the time, new faces, new direction, like a whole bunch of stuff. But I guess the core element is that we still want to be involved, in different people, different sides of the industry. And, we all have very different roles and different jobs and different locations and all that sort of thing. So it really was just a case to engage, have a platform for everybody to engage, as opposed to like, this is just us and, that's all we want to do. It wasn't about that at all. And life is hard, right? #adulting and all that situation. So Absolutely. It doesn't always work out the way that we tried to get it. We would have loved to do more serious stuff, but I'm struggling for time, and I'm sure, Chris is busy and Legion's got his thing going on as well. So, we still look for, the people that have supported us, which, I'm giving a straight up shout out, to those people who every show we have, there's always someone watching and someone saying, I love having you guys, just to chat and talk. And that it doesn't matter, subs don't matter as far as numbers are concerned, because that was the whole point of why I guess we wanted to do live. I've never gone live on YouTube before, before this format. So yeah, right. Even Chris Vandal was like, we had to push him to come on. Vandal was involved I
was on the edge of never ever, like, I go me in front, like Frames was saying it earlier, like, oh, it's like being on this camera. Dude, fuck this shit. I'm sorry. I don't know if I can swear on the channel.
No, you're good, dude.
Yeah, fuck
Okay.
it.
Fuck.
No, you fucking can't.
Oh, God damn it, Dad. So,
But that's the truth. Yeah.
I never wanted to be on this side of the camera for anything, you know. I feel like I'm an obscure smartass, you know, and like I didn't know what I'd bring to offer. And I get it, like, oh, you work in the industry, but it's not. I don't feel like I applied enough. There are people outside the industry that do 10 times more than me. Anyways, it brought me to the point of realizing that, you know, you can be surrounded by great people, and something that brought us together was this. And so why not kind of like a testament to why it's helped us so much, share it with everyone else, and that people want to be a part of it. You know?
Two things for you, Chris. One, we're all like that though. Like even me. I mean, I worked in film 2 freaking careers ago, and I was behind the camera. Like I wanted to be behind the art and making the art, obscure, being able to watch it happen, being able to observe it, not have any fuss about me, just be a part of the back end. Yeah. And this pushed me into the front end because it needed it. Advocacy, passion, giving back to something that, you know, potentially saved my life as a cessation. Right. So that's one. And secondly, I think I forgot it, and I'm really upset about it because the punchline was so good. I'm just gonna let it go.
No, but like I'm kind of like the same way, man. Like I never thought that I'd be the person to, you know, start doing videos or be on a live show or even create content in this way. You know, I've always been a musical person, you know what I mean? That's always where my passion's always kind of been, you know what I mean? Like, I'm way better at, you know, sitting down and coming up with, you know, like, a chord progression than I am sitting here trying to think of what I'm going to, you know, do for, like, some sort of video or, you know, take some crazy cool shots or something like that's just not how my brain operates. You know, I think in music. So, like, it was never something I really thought about. But then, you know, I started doing, like, these little cloud check videos on Facebook, you know, when I first got into it, when I was in like the Facebook groups and I first got into that whole scene and, you know, talking to people there, and, you know, I started doing those and people were like, hey man, those cloud checks you're doing are pretty cool, you know, so I just kept running with it. And then, you know, next thing you know, there was an episode of the Vape Stew, or there was a week where there was no Vape Stew, and then myself, Swaggins, Poon Sauce, Dan, and a couple other people came together and were like, hey, well, let's just do a show for the community. You know, it's something everybody looks forward to on Fridays since there's no stew. Well, let's just do something. You know what I mean? Yeah. It was just going to be a one-time thing. You know what I mean? Like, hey, let's just try it out. Let's have some fun, see where it goes. We had so much fun that first show, not knowing how to do anything, dude. We were, it was probably one of the worst streams we've ever done, like when it comes down to it. But it was one of the most fun experiences because it was something new.
We were in
for all
Google
of us.
Hangouts back then.
You know what I mean? Yeah, and it was so cool just to kind of experience that, because we've sat back in the chats on so many of these shows and stuff and watched them and seen how much fun it looked to actually get out there and do it, and then also be able to interact with people in chat and see that they were enjoying it as well.
Yeah.
Like, that just kind of drove us to kind of continue, and that's what ultimately made the Vaping with the Ohmies, you know, what it is. And it's just something we came together as consumers, you know what I mean? Like, none of us had channels at that point besides Clown, and we were just like, what ground we shared is that we all vaped, you know what I mean? We all vape differently, too. Not all of us vape the same, and it was a way for us to conversate. You know, and
look where you all are now. Like, how long ago was that, Frames, when you started that?
It'll be 2 years ago on May the 4th.
You all have, you know, things going on in some way in this industry, related industries, you know, like people who have come out of come out of their own shells from that situation. I mean, I'm gonna rave for a bit. I joined the Stooge Discord, you know, like when was that? Maybe 4 months ago, somewhere around that.
It's been a little bit,
you know, like to because I'm friends with all of you in here.
Planet.
Yeah. But that whole situation, like, here's this other whole subset of people that I'd never met, and you know, the people that are like, I just hang out in here, I'm talking, and then they're coming out of their shells. I'm like, this is inspiring people.
It does, man.
Not even 6 degrees of separation.
I can't count how many like new content creators have come out of the stew the stew community since I've been a part of it. You know what I mean? Like, I've branched out and I've started doing my own thing, and I've kind of, you know, started to get my own traction, and, you know, my channel is doing great, and I'm super excited for where it's going. And then you got Poon Sauce starting his channel and doing something completely different than what everybody else is doing, meaning doing 100% advocacy based, and, and then bringing people on to kind of hear their vape journey and stuff like that. And then, the Green Room started out of that, which is another show that I'm very, very passionate about. And, we got more people out of the stew community that are with me on that show. We've got Overdrip and, Sean Typhon. And then, the Shed Time podcast started. And then, we've got like the Weekend Wisdom with Texas Cloudtown and Shane Oakley that's branched out, and they started doing their own thing. And then you've got the Wolf Bite podcast that happened because Clown and Frank Wolf got together in the stew community, and they just started doing that podcast. And it's just like all these things are starting to pop up, and they're all starting to gain their own traction in their own communities. But at the end of the day, we all merge and we all meld together in the stew Discord. Like, all of us come together there from no matter where we're at, doing what we're doing. That's the one place it's like our home base. We all have our own things going on.
Chinese adage: teamwork makes the dream work.
Absolutely, man. No, and he's not lying though, man, because like that's one thing that I've been pushing since I started, this whole YouTube journey or content creating is not only do, it would be nice for me to grow and, kind of do my own thing, but I want everybody that have impacted me and have helped me along the way go take that route with me, and I want them to succeed and I want them to do well. So whatever I can do to help them, whether it's bringing them on a show or doing a shout out on Instagram about whatever they've got going on, or help plugging them here and there, it's just like whatever I can do to help them is like the least that I can do, because they've done so much to help me, whether it's just them talking to me or telling me like, man, you're good at what you do, you need to keep doing it, or just being a friend and just being there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what keeps me driven, is just all the positivity that I get out of the community. And that's why my slogan's positive vibes and crisp high fives, because like I just want to extend all that positivity out to everybody else that I've continued to get from this community.
The crispest of vibes.
The crispest, bro.
I like
Only
to
the
say
crispest.
that was all good stuff. The most shit that I did was hang some shit on my walls just so it wasn't a blank space back there.
No, you got. Hey, give yourself.
Hey,
more
no,
credit than
honestly,
that.
Dan, you got to give yourself
I
credit,
hung a
bro.
stormtrooper
You
helmet
created
up. You
a
guys
show,
see
bro. If it wasn't for you, that's what she said never would have happened, bro.
Yes.
Like, you set that into motion, and then that's now one of my favorite shows to watch.
That's a good
show
show.
on YouTube, because not only do they give you great information when it comes down to regulations and stuff that's happening in the industry, but it's just a super entertaining and fun place to go on Thursday nights.
Dude,
You know what I mean?
that was just a no-brainer. Those are 5 of the smartest women in the industry that needed to have a show and get that info out there. I get most of my knowledge from them because they are super fucking smart.
Absolutely.
Gail and Angela talking. Man,
Let's
it's
take it
just-
back before that, though. When you used to live in a bog. I mean,
I
you've
did live
invested.
in a bog. Go back to that
you
first
put
Vaping
money
with
into
Ohmies
this.
video.
Come on,
I
we've all
I know.
We've all
See
put money
that?
into this.
That wasn't free. That's not sponsored.
Well, that's a different.
Well, dude, and think about
you choose your own nickname.
Dude, and think about all the connections that you've made, Dan, and that you've
I
also
know,
helped
I
us
know.
connect with, like the sponsors that we have. We wouldn't have the sponsors that we have if
Our sponsors are amazing.
if it wasn't for you, which we do want to take a quick moment to shout them out real quick, because we are running down to the last like 10 minutes here, guys. So huge shout out goes out to Rescued E-Liquid, guys. If you guys didn't know, you guys got to go check them out. RescuedEliquid.com. You can use the code OHMIGOS to get you 10% off your order, or you can use the code BARK20 and it'll get you $20 off a $120 order or more. You can go check out Ben, Velez, Vulcan, Vengeance. They have the pack leader line that they're doing as well, Mika, and they have Nico coming very soon. You can also pick up the bottled violence line from them as well. They make absolutely delicious flavors. Every single one of them that I've tried, I absolutely love. Haven't found one that I do not like yet. Ben is my absolute favorite. I've gone through like 90 to 120 mils of that stuff already, and I'm in need of more. But definitely go over there and check them out, guys, because it's just absolutely delicious. And, of course, we're going to take a huge shout-out to OPMH Project. You guys know one of my all-time favorite juice lines is the Fountain Blast-Off Coated Cherry Ice. All 3 of them are very solid, and don't let the cherry ice fool you. There's no Coolado or menthol in that flavor. It is just the name, and it is a white cherry citrus, and it is pretty damn tasty if I do say so myself. So I definitely suggest checking them out there. They also have the Real Dough Custard line, as well as Watson, which is an award-winning tobacco line. You guys can also check them out if you're looking for any wholesale or distribution over at opmhproject.com. And then we do have purecbd1.com, guys. You go check them out. Use the code OHMIGOS. use the code SHEDTIME for 10% off of your order over there as well. Something's going to be happening with that very soon, guys, so definitely stay tuned for some news when it comes down to sponsors and all that good stuff. With all that being said, we do have this last little segment that we've started doing a couple weeks ago that Dan brought up. We have created a Vaping with the Ohmies Spotify/YouTube music playlist, and every week what we do is we kind of go around the panel here and we all add a new song to the playlist. And since there's so many of us here, we're all going to do one song a piece. And of course, chat, all you guys out there, start dropping some song suggestions, because we're also going to pick one out from chat to add onto the playlist as well, and then you guys can go check it out after and just hear a bunch of music that we're all into here. And trust me, it's going to be all over the place. It's going to be all over the place. So with that, I'm going to throw it over to Poon Sauce. What's your song that you're going to add onto the playlist this week?
Okay, mine is going to be Silver Tongues by I the Mighty. So they're like more of like a alternative post-hardcore band, and I'm a big fan. So that is going to be my pick for the week.
Ooh, all right.
I'm going to pass it over to Mr. Breeze Tones. What do you got?
Cherry Waves by Deftones.
Ooh, some Deftones action. Breeze Tones with the Deftones.
Yep. I'm going to pass that to Steve Legion Vapes.
I'm going to kick it off with my hometown heroes. This is DOA, and the song is called Fuck You.
Yes. I like it already.
Who was it by?
DOA.
Hold on, I got to find it.
See, what we have is Corey has his Spotify, but I have YouTube playlist going. So if you don't use Spotify like myself, then use YouTube. And Liv probably dropped those links for us. Thank you, Liv.
Awesome.
You know, Adam, we should steal this idea. We should just steal
Bastards.
it. Make it ours.
Yeah. I just that's what I've been doing. It's done. I mean, what?
Yeah.
TM.
Yeah.
Trademark.
Yeah.
Copyright.
Yeah.
Dude, it's hot. Like you watch so many shows out there. It's like these people are doing this, people are doing this, people are doing this, and it just comes to you sometimes. Like, oh, this is a good idea. Like this is something for everyone, so everyone can enjoy a little bit of everything from everyone and see what their musical tastes are like. Because everyone likes music. I haven't met anyone that doesn't like music.
Thing is, in my reviews and stuff, I would play a lot more cool music in the like background and intro, but you know, copyright's a bitch.
Yeah,
so I can never play stuff I really, really like. I'm like picking the best out of the YouTube library, and you know, the jazz stuff's okay. I like jazz, but you know, I want to play some hardcore and some old school stuff.
Right.
Luckily, I got a Sean Typhon,
Yeah,
and I've got the Stooge albums that he's created that are copyright free. So I literally use all of his music in most of my videos, and it's all pretty cool stuff. It's like some lo-fi, you know, like techno, like type stuff, and a lot of it's really good. And he's got all kinds of shit on there. Shout outs to Sean Typhon, my dude.
Who's next?
Yeah. Legion, pass it off.
Oh, Vapor Swaggins. What do you give us?
I had like 60 million different choices in the time that I was asked, and I've settled on the last one that my brain decided, and I was like playing it in my head, and I was really vibing to it. I was like, you know, if hypothetically I smoked a doobie, because in that universe that was something that you were allowed to do and talk about on the internet, I would listen to The Eminence Front by The Who.
Ooh.
And that would be my song.
What was it again?
Eminence Front, The Who.
Interesting.
I was originally going to go with We Built This City by Starship, but...
So you're going to pass it to Swag?
Oh, yeah, shit. I keep, you know, this is just... who hasn't gone? Am I the first Ohmie?
Dan hasn't gone. Vandal hasn't gone.
I'm going to pass it. I have to keep it going. I'm going to pass it over to my my brother on the other coast, Chris Vandal.
Oh, that's why you look so weird. I didn't know you were on the East Coast. Anyways,
Water's different over here, kid. It's dirty, but we love it.
The air is so dry out here in Las Vegas. It's really messing up my sinus. Wish by Alien Ant Farm.
Ooh, nice.
Oh,
I was playing Tony Hawk the other day.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Those are some soundtracks to my life right there, bro. The Tony Hawk soundtracks, bro.
Dude, that was the best.
Wait, Vandal, what's the song?
Wish by Alien Ant Farm.
Good
Those
album.
were the days you could put the old PlayStation discs in your CD player. And
Yeah.
it played music on them.
Yes.
Dude, the good old
Shit.
days. So you're going to pass it off to Vandal?
Let's go ahead and give it to Poon, right? Oh, wait, Dan. My bad.
You're good, man. In honor of Rage Against the Machine touring again, we're gonna go with a little "Take the Power Back."
Ooh, nice.
Oh.
Very nice. And for me, I'm going to pick, hold on, where'd it go here? Spirit in the Sky.
From Mama
By,
Janklin?
yeah, by Norrin Greenburn. And this is actually a special song. I had a family member that passed away very recently, and this was a song that we played at her service on Saturday. So this is kind of a close one to my heart, guys.
Nice.
Definitely.
And with that, I guess we can go out there and pick out one out there and chat. Why don't you go ahead and pick one this week, Poon Sauce?
Okay, let's look. Saw a few some decent ones. I'm gonna go with.
Shout out the person too.
Let's
Come on,
see.
Poon Sauce.
Hold
No
on,
Britney Spears
thinking.
this time.
Oh,
Unless it's from
I'm
the
gonna go
Toxic
with-
album.
I'm gonna go with our good friends over at Rescued. I'm gonna go with Time Bomb by Rancid.
Nice. All right, so with that, that's going to go ahead and wrap up this episode here, guys. But of course, like I said, make sure you guys go over to the Migos & Co. channel, subscribe, hit that notification bell, because in about 10 minutes or so, we're going to be popping on over there to, just continue on this party, guys. So, of course, with that, huge shout-out goes out to Breeze Tones, Legion Vapes, and Chris Vandal for joining us here. Of course, just nothing but love for you guys. Hopefully, we can, bring some of our viewers over there to you guys' show and, let them see what you guys are about over there. And hopefully we can kind of do the same. Maybe get some of you guys' viewers over here. Check us out, what we got going on over here. But with that, I'll just kind of pass it off to you guys to see if there's anything that you guys might want to say to some of the people in chat before we go ahead and sign out here.
I just said thanks to all of the people who obviously watch your channel and they also have come from our channel. Much love, much respect, and we do this for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, what Adam said.
All right, sweet. So of course we are. We'll let you guys know about what we've got going on over here with the Ohmies. I know Corey, you got what's in the news coming up on Wednesday, correct?
Definitely, and I'm gonna do a little bit more research on the new segment that we talked about today, and that's gonna be what we're really gonna dive deep into on Wednesday. So keep an eye out for that. And yeah, you can catch me here on Mondays again.
All right, sweet. Of course, Swags, you got anything you want to say to people today?
Thank you for being a friend. And that's it. What about why don't we just roll it out? Because
Should
then
we
gotta-
do it? Go ahead, Dan. It is time
Oh,
for a
yeah,
little
dad
bit of
joke.
Dan's dad joke of the week.
So did you guys hear about the guy who dipped his testicles in glitter? Pretty nuts.
All right, that one was pretty good, Dan. I'll give that one to you, bro.
Pretty nuts.
So, all right, with all that being
Pretty
said,
nuts.
guys, thank you all for joining us. Of course, you guys can go check out my channel. I dropped a review earlier today on the Hyperion from Infinite Mods. So if you guys want to go check that out, go leave me a comment. Let me know what you guys think. Of course, Green Room coming up on Friday. You definitely can check that out. New Shed Time podcast dropped this Sunday as well. So if you guys have not checked that out, go over to SoundCloud. Go follow the Shed Time podcast. Go give it a listen. It was our Tales from the Shed. So we told some good Shed Time stories and actually dropped some pretty good knowledge on you guys as well. So if you guys want to go check that out, make your way over there and go show us some love there. With all that being said, we're going to end this as we always do, guys. We're going to send out all those positive vibes. Crisp by fives. and let's just vape on Ohmigos.
Oh,